Hey Taurus, how y'all doing? Welcome. We are going to be taking a look at your June through July Litha reading here. So, summer solstice or Yule, depending on where you are in the world. So, let's get right into your meditation. So, the first thing I saw was a bee. And I saw this bee sort of land on someone's hand and then kind of burrow in and become like a part of the body. And then I saw this tall skyscraper in New York, and I saw this bee on the skyscraper. And then I saw it collecting all these different, like sending out these different letters and collecting these different bits and then going and waiting like at its hive. And then all of these other like flying insects and whatever, like insect life came and like got the call, received the message, and then came and found the bee. And it was kind of like the beehive, the community, sort of an emphasis on that. And then I saw the words be proactive, be proactive. That's what I heard. And then I saw the image of a fox at the very, very end kind of wink at me with its golden eye and then turn into like a golden statue of it. So it's interesting given, which cards you have. It's a really beautiful spread here. Really, 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 really stunning, actually. Um, I will say the bee energy is very much about teamwork, but I'm getting a very strong feeling around putting out your feelers, putting yourself out there and allowing opportunity to find you, allowing other people to know that you're there, kind of getting your name out or letting yourself be seen or putting something in the paper that it feels like putting a blast out, like allowing people to get the memo that you're around so that they can find you because it feels important in some way, whether this is part of like a parent group or part of your business, or you've moved to a new place and you want to connect with a different community, something like that, neighborly, or it's like attracting your fellow hive mates. It feels important in some way. So your animal coming through for this round rather is the shark. So this is interesting because this is Capricorn energy, right? Which represents the devil key in the tarot, which speaks of rigidity. It could be, an aspect of addiction or feeling like you don't have much choice in the matter, like remembering or forgetting your own natural power, feeling powerless, feeling like you're just bound and trapped in some way. But the shark energy is very powerful in terms of shadow work and shadow expression. I feel like there is an aspect of you that wants to be brought out into the light of day, into greater expression. I don't know how aware of it you are because shark is about the subconscious, right? Lives in the ocean, which is a big old symbol of the unknown and the subconscious, both collective and personal. So I feel like whatever this is for you, it could be revealed through dream time, through journaling, through introspection, or maybe you're quite aware of what this is already. But I feel like it's connected to or is going to attract like-minded people to you. This aspect of yourself is it and be proactive. There's something about that. Something about allowing yourself to be seen. Capricorn energy is an interesting one, and I feel like it is a fellow Earth sign for you. But when I think about their superpower, Capricorn's superpower is very much about not getting in their own way. They have this innate confidence that just allows them to take steps that they don't necessarily have that kind of shyness where it's like, oh, should I? Or, oh, how's that going to be received? They just put themselves out there and they take slow and steady steps that lead to big progress and big gains, right? So I'm hearing consistent effort on your part, being proactive and allowing yourself to put yourself out there. I think you'll be surprised at what happens as a result of doing so. Make the effort, take the chance, take the risk. That's what I'm hearing, right? So you're coming through as the Ace of Wands here, which is really beautiful, right? Because this is fire energy, this is big inspiration, this is passion. The Wands rule the realm of the soul, right? They talk about our soul purpose. Why are we here? Why do we do what we do? What gets us up in the morning, right? And this is about the actions that we do or don't take regarding those things, and also the timing that it happens in, right? This is the suit of timing. So it's interesting how this is coming through as you, because this says you've got a lot of ideas going on. You have energy, you have passion. I do feel like there's a certain emphasis on really nurturing that spark for you, though, because I'm drawn to your oracle here. I'm using the new Seasons of the Witch Oracle Litha deck that just came out. I'm going to be recommending this in my newsletter next week. It's really, really good. You see these candles here? And you got the candle here. It's like, what's that spark within you? What are you feeling really inspired about? What idea do you have? What have you been thinking about doing, but you haven't done it yet? There's something around this. Or is it part of a community, right? Have you been looking for your community? Do you want to take a step up within your community? Something about that, putting yourself out there. Herb crafting. Allow your roots to dive into the depths. Your spirit calls for grounding. Allow your roots to dive into the depths. Your spirit calls for grounding. So this oracle is also about being an empath and feeling other people's feelings as your own, but also taking on others' energy, others' responsibilities, other people's issues as your own. And then you ground yourself and really separate yourself from, what isn't yours. But there's also, this call to the roles that we play within a given society or even within our given familial structure. You are, regardless of whether you're a parent or you work in a job that requires that you help a lot of people or whatever this is for you. You at your core are an individual and you are a creator, right? Ace of Wands, we are here to create. And it really is up to you to nurture your own divine spark of why you're here outside of your relationships, outside of any role that you may have taken on within a given, personal relationship or community or what have you. It's really important for you to redefine your own sense of why you're here and what actions you're taking or want to take in order to support that divine purpose that's really coming up for you here. Really coming up for you. I also feel like this is something that, when we're talking about divine purpose, it's something that if you do not lean into and really allow yourself to fully express in whatever way, shape, or form, this could be small things that you do, right? This could be like something that you do at night where you go into your pottery shed and you just create for the sake of it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. Maybe you write an advice column that nobody will ever see. It doesn't matter. It's just about how do you exercise that expression within you. So the fact that this is coming up for you now, and I'm hearing be proactive, I do feel like whatever this divine spark is within you, it's going to attract other like-minded people to you and really have a beautiful effect that you might be surprised by in some way, shape, or form. Now, your challenge is Knight of Swords, which is really interesting because this is really blunt information, but it's also a steady stream of realizations that you can't unknow. But I also feel like this is some sort of communication that might feel a bit, whew, that was a bit brutal, like a bit blunt, right? This isn't exactly, they say you catch more flies with sugar than you do with vinegar or with honey or whatever have you. This is the opposite of that. But I feel like in your place of challenge is really coming forward to say, this is, to me, feels like about speaking your truth, right? How well are you able to communicate your truth, what you need, what your boundaries are, what's important to you, how you spend your time? What is your relationship to asking for what you need without like this empath energy, being afraid of other people, being unhappy about it or treating you differently for it or loving you less or whatever it is? Is your worth based in what you do? And that's the question. How do you base your worth? And really think about that question. How do you base your worth? How do you measure it? Are you worthy just because you exist in the world? That is the correct answer. However, as human beings, it's not always that simple. Like, especially like if you're, if you grew up in an environment where you were rewarded or got positive reinforcement based on how much you did around the house, then growing up as an adult, you might really feel within your relationship that your worth is based on what you can do for other people, like around the house, domestically, relationship wise, right? But the thing is, that's not an organic truth. That's a habitual belief that you're bringing in from your childhood so that if you don't get like that positive reinforcement and that love from doing the stuff, then you feel resentful. Then you feel, oh, well, nobody appreciates what I do. And it turns into a martyr thing. So that might not be literally like your case, but I use that as an example to say you're really being asked to look at where your source of your worth is. And I feel like that's what the shark is, the shadow energy is as well. There's also empaths. Like an empowered empath won't experience this, but an empath who has a lot of shadow work to do feels incredibly resentful, can get very into that martyrdom, that victimhood, where it feels like, nobody appreciates me. Like I'm always giving, 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 but I'm never receiving. It's that sort of energy. So I feel like that stuff is coming up for you now, and it's just shining a light and asking you, like, how do you measure your worth? Right? And how do you invest in your own worth? Are you really good at investing in other people's worth? How do you cheer yourself on? How do you put in the time and work around what you love to do and why you're here and what feeds your soul and spirit? Right? Honesty. So your advice here is the emperor. So remember, we saw in that meditation, it was like be proactive. That's emperor energy all day long. This is Aries energy. This is all about putting yourself out there, but it's also about taking accountability and responsibility for how you spend your time and on whom you spend your time, right? This is about delegating. Can you delegate some of the things that you do so that you have more time to serve your own joy and purpose? Can you delegate how much time you spend on your work so that you can have some time on the evening, on the weekends, to spend some time serving your creative soul? Or is it in reverse, right? There's something about this. When your advice is to be the emperor, it's to take charge and ownership of your experience in some way, shape, or form, right? Aries energy gets it done. It's not the softest energy in the world, but they are reliable, they're proactive, and they get results. And that's your advice. Yeah, you got a couple of majors here. So your victory here is stunning. It's the Chariot, and I love this for you especially because that's Cancerian energy. It's the sign of the home and the hearth. After we get through Gemini season, we're going to be getting into Cancer season here. So I do feel like it's commenting on the time that we're looking at here. The Chariot is forward movement that is balanced, productive, and victorious in nature, honey. This is happy movement forward. This is feeling like I am prepared. I got all my snacks in my travel case. I am ready to move on and go forward and go out there and get it. So the fact that this is your victory just shows to me and feels to me like a certain freedom on your part where you just feel like I'm free. I can move forward now, unencumbered by my own, unexpressed, unexplored, unhealed shadow. Step into the light of day and really feel like I'm moving towards something that really matters to me. But feeling like I also have a support system either within myself or at home that has really got my back all the while, right? It's like you can go out there and take over the world, but if you know that you have like a support system backing you of trusted friends and loved ones and family, then it's a whole other level. And you have something to fight and work for as well, which is also the emperor, because he's the dad of the tarot, right? He's that masculine patriarchal energy. So this feels incredibly positive as well. The Chariot Cancer energy is also ruled by the moon. It's interesting this is coming up with the empath energy because Cancerians, like the shadow side of Cancer energy, is like the martyrdom energy. Like in alignment, they're so giving, they're so nurturing, they're the mom, right? But when in that shadow energy, it can really turn into like, mommy dearestville, where it's like very demanding and very, that beautiful sacred feminine energy just turns to something that is quite selfish and quite, it's conditional love, right? So I like that this is coming into your place of victory where it's in the upright and you're ready to move forward from a place of balance, self-worth, self-love, and confidence and purpose. It feels really, really beautiful. You're just speeding ahead here. And then your outcome is my favorite. You have the Queen of Pentacles, which is you and your feminine, royal queen self as a Taurus, right? This is so stunning. And I love how it's depicted in this deck too. It's like you're happy as a pig in shit. And I love it. Look at how happy this pig looks. I love it. This is also about self care. It's nurturing. This is like you on your best day. It's like where you're really allowing yourself to just be connected to Mother Nature, where you're feeling really good about where you are. You're not concerned about how this appears or what happens next. You're just feeling really good. Now, Queen of Pentacles energy is about being grateful for what you already have. And in doing so, manifesting more to be grateful for. But it's also about considering your footprint on the world, how what you do affects others and how what they do affects you. It's a beautiful balanced energy where you're also thinking about the betterment of the world, how you're going to leave the world better than how you found it. And I feel like there's this really beautiful nurturing energy that's coming through as your outcome, but also speaks of, financial gain as well with the Queen of Pentacles because she's quite wealthy, right? But here's the question. Is she wealthy because she has a lot of material things? Or is she wealthy because she looks at her material things and thinks, my goodness, look at all I have, regardless of what it is, right? It's a perspective thing. Wealth is a perspective. right? That's the Queen of Pentacles motto. But look at how happy, and this is coming through as your outcome. So I feel like you're going to be coming through this time period with just this deep sense of gratitude and growth, and shadow healing, and really realigning your priorities, and really giving a full commitment to an expression of what really makes you happy, and understanding that when you are happy, the people that you love will be too. And that's what it is, right? The people who are really on your team want you to live in full expression of yourself. And that's what it is. So, really, really beautiful, Taurus. I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, let me know in the comments below. I definitely love hearing from y'all. I'm so happy to report that I am back in the UK. I have an approved visa, honey. I'm here all official like, back in my home base with my little crow here, back where I belong. So I'm so excited to be with you in a more consistent way. And I'm thankful for all of you who've stuck with me through the transitions and the time off and the here and there and the everywhere and the travels. And I'm coming to the full expression of that journey now with my visa, and I'm just excited to be with y'all more moving forward, like I said. So thank you guys so much for your patience. And with that being said, again, just thank you so much. I love you guys, and as always, and most of all, thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.